thank you for stopping by Pete's Garage. Well, it's time to mount our seats in the Cobra. Now these seats I bought from Factory 5. It's a standard roadster seat you see in most Cobras. And the first thing we have to do is mount the track, or the rail, the sliding track, onto the seat, then we'll fit it in the car. These seats are nice to work on. They're Velcro in the back, like that. And the bottom disconnects, just pushes off a little thick tab there. And makes it easy to turn the seat up. So we can mount this on here. Now, got to make sure you put this on here right. So you want this towards the front of the seat. This means that when you're sitting, if I put it on this side like this, the handle's over here. When you're sitting in the seat, you reach in the front of the seat and you have to move the lever this way to loosen the seat, which is right. So all I'm going to do is mount this on here with some carriage bolts, which fit in here, 5/16 carriage bolts, fit right in there. And I can't mount it flush. I can't just mount it flush because this is way too close with this seat cover on there. So I have these 1-inch bushings that I'm using, heavy duty bushings, and I'll have it 1 inch, the seat 1 inch away from the rail. I have no choice to do that, and I'll show you why once I get this together. So here you can see how close this is to the bottom here. You could probably bend that if you had to, but when this, if I didn't have these spacers in there, this would be like rubbing right up against this, and that gives me just a little bit of room there. Now we can set them in place and see how they fit. Okay, new job, new problem here. The seat is sitting right where I'd like it to sit. It's all the way back. I can't push it back any further back. I have the sliders adjusted so they're all the way forward. So if it were bolted in right now, this is as far back as a seat would go. I also have these small spacers, 3/4 inch, that I made to put underneath here. And if I do that, you can see I got just enough room to get my hand on here and adjust the seat. Now here's the problem. If I take this, lift this up, move this out of the way, here's the problem. This line right here represents the steel, welded in steel that goes underneath the frame here where you would bolt the seat to. You need that for support. I did have another seat bolted in here, So I know these holes got to at least go here. If I bolt it right here, I'm not bolted to anything, solid. So that means I have to unbolt the sliders from the seat and move them forward on the seat so that these, I can get this up here a little bit more. I can't put it in there. I got to move the sliders. Now I moved the sliders forward about 2 inches, 2.5 inches. You can see this is the hole where I had it mounted. Now it's mounted up here, and now it puts the hole for the mounting bracket well into the metal that's underneath, so I can be sure it's going to be nice and strong. Also, the rear of the seat, the center, first of all, the center of the seat is centered on the roll bar in the back, and the seat is canted, or it's tilted, and remember this way, it's tilted this way towards the pedals and towards the steering wheel. And I measured that by putting the seat in here. Put the seat in here. At least now I know I got equal room on both sides here, like that. And not only that, when I bolt this together, or bolt this down, have this centered, the back will be about 1/4 inch higher because I have to mount the seat belt bracket, which goes underneath the bracket that goes, or the bolt that goes through the frame. So that's how you mount the seat belt. So let's get this mounted. I've been waiting to do this a long time. Alright. I'm gonna get a huge leg from this clutch. Okay, pretty comfortable. Now we just gotta do the passenger side. seats are in it, I am dying to open up the garage door and take it out for a ride. If it wasn't 25 degrees outside, I'd be tearing up the neighborhood. If you haven't already, please click on subscribe. I'm getting ready to finish this up with some taillights, some electrical, the trunk, and then we'll do the bodywork and paint. Thanks for stopping by Pete's Garage.